Good afternoon to everyone. So we are going to continue now with our teaching on transforming suffering and happiness. Up until now, we have talked about many different reasons for accepting suffering. And as we were talking about before our break, if we are able to practice in conditions of retreat, this is excellent, but if not, then it is also okay to set aside some time each day for meditation practice. So in practicing on accepting suffering, then in the future when sufferings of different kinds arise, it won't be a problem. They won't cause us disturbance, and our mind or disposition will become very gentle. At present, however, when harmful circumstances arise, everyone's minds become disturbed and agitated, and not only do they make themselves unhappy, they also perceive unhappiness in their environment. But through practice, our personalities or dispositions can be made more gentle. And our personalities can also be made more open-minded. And in addition to this, our practice will make us more easily able to get along with other people. We won't be narrow-minded. We will be able to have easy and good interactions with others.
And in the
face of whatever sufferings or obstacles we encounter, our minds will be strong and courageous. And whatever arises, whatever kind of appearances arise, none of them will serve as obstacles for us. Either we will transform them to our practice, or they will, in any case, not serve as obstacles. So everything will come to good result. And in general, in the course of whatever task you are doing, your mind will be calm, peaceful, not agitated, very stable.
Denita Dendiga Deni Yamlin Deni Shetana Deni Jimjita, that Dendi Yaboyong Tapandose.
So if you are able to put this into practice, make this your practice, then this will be the result.
Then also more than Queba Chapat the Simcom got in Cola, then Yapo Chaji on King got in Quepazina. Then he mostly Latin Kyopoyona, Duboyona, so then also then is similar than he Rale Pata, similar to the Hago yours.
For someone who is wise, and particularly wise in relation to matters of the mind, they realize, they know that happiness is determined by the mind.
Then it indeed Tenita Pena Dikit, Sosolan Soa Demoda Kepotis Yon Gonayan, then it's so then also same Gotolat in Yapos Yona, then it Dikit on Dambatini Yongore, some Nitini, same Tolat in the Gertu Japkan those.
And especially realize that in order to have happiness, it is necessary to make changes at the level of the mind, and only in this way will happiness come about.
Then also me mambo, then is some not so same kipot Jipatsam Chokyo Mari, Taro Ubo Jamana Mambo Gore. Then you put it on Jamana Mambo to so you're not in it, Tazong, so same Tola Kipo Yongere Matoba. Most
people think that it's not possible to achieve happiness just through working at the level of our minds. Most people think that, at least in addition, we also need various material things. It's not possible simply or purely through the mind to achieve happiness. Most people think like this. Even though many people think like this, in actual fact, it isn't correct. We have choices that we can make, and everyone is entitled to make their own choices. However, if what we would like or aspire to is a happy life, a relaxed life, then it isn't necessarily the case that we need all of these objects and material things.
Mambo, Tantini took and do it, and Aranda and Mambo and Soa Ketzer, Tini Mambos and Tonga do it.
Many of us encounter lots of different people. I personally do too. I get to see many different kinds of lifestyles.
Then Makashi did the Umupo Tonishana, Halipa, Jibo, then
And some people, in terms of their material lifestyles, are very luxurious. And they have millions of dollars. Some hundreds of millions and maybe billions. However, they are not in the slightest happy in their own minds.
Then Makashila Tendi Mambo Mundutayana, Korangan Soa, Tini Tota, then Shertanka Umubo Haliba Mambo, Jarjibo Halibat into Shibot and Disease.
But then there are others who don't have so much things in their lives.
Then he Koranso Kori Yabore, then he Desa Kangbayan, then Yabore, then there was a Legalesa Kori Yantini Yabore, then Koranso Lankor, the Soya Yabore, then in Soa. But
then there are those others who, for everything, is absolutely excellent. The houses they live in, the places that they work, the cars they drive, the food they eat, the clothes they wear. However, in respect of these things, their external environment, their homes, etc., they really encounter a lot of hardship or a lot of difficulty. They expend a lot of energy. The amount of time that they work for each day is not just 8 hours. They spend a lot of time working. And in their work lives, they've got very strict deadlines inside which certain tasks need to be completed, and so they have great pressure in their lives. And because of say not being able to complete these tasks, or in any case in the course of doing this work, they have a great deal of pressure and causes them a lot of difficulty. Some people are not able to sleep well. And because they aren't able to sleep well at night, they're not able to work properly during the day. This is one lifestyle. But there's a different kind of lifestyle. This lifestyle is that of farmers and nomads. And their food and the clothes they wear are not luxurious or extravagant in any sense. And their external environment too is not extravagant. There are no big buildings and these kinds of things. However, they do live in a way that doesn't cause much destruction to the environment. So even though the food that they eat and the clothes that they wear aren't fancy, nevertheless they live in a way that doesn't pollute the environment that they live in. There are some people who have no pressure whatsoever in their lives. Even though, but looking at these people, it would seem that it would appear that the clothes they wear and the houses they live in are very poor. When they do work, however, manual work, they do have to exert some effort. But in their minds, they're very happy. So this is another kind of lifestyle. So these are two different possible lifestyles. As to which one is better, I don't know. Which does everyone think is the better lifestyle? Tambo.
Yeah. Ya ta tindi ra boris ta nga so shetang ga tini so la la tini damga tini te she chokore kantar tini so ra chepon chowa chepoze ya te sem kel pala zeona li chepola zeona ko mdu ze nga so.
So that's the way it is. People have their choices as in relation to happiness, but whether it produces mental and physical happiness, I don't know. It's possible that the majority of people think that the first lifestyle is the preferable one.
The
majority of contemporary people, modern people in particular, choose the first lifestyle. Regardless, insofar as having a happy and joyful mind is concerned, irrespective of the environment that we are in, the main thing is our mind. But for most people, happiness does not come. They constantly think that they need more things. And then there are some people who, not having happy minds, despite the fact that their homes are very beautiful, besides giving them some immediate pleasure in this life, have no purpose beyond this.
So
that's how it is. Some people prefer the first lifestyle, other people prefer the second. Everyone has many different kinds of thoughts about this. Whatever lifestyle we prefer, the most important thing, though, is that we look after our minds. Of course, occasionally having our external environment or having certain material things does give us happiness. However, these things are very changeable and very fickle. If we rely on these things in our external environment to make ourselves happy, but don't know how to make ourselves happy in our mind, then the happiness and joy that we do derive will not be long-lasting. However, if we know how to achieve happiness and joy in our own minds, then even if the external environment or material things give rise to change, our mind won't follow in the footsteps of these changing things, and this will be good for us. If we are not able to look after our minds, then even the second lifestyle that we talked about isn't particularly good.
Deni koso deni gormo mambodan kangbata langkorda tso karti nimasila mukum tongyona. Deni koso yang sem lando paki te arak teni sam te marak na sem nangla dungor yang rabo jambat sodan dada rin ro.
Because even though people who have this lifestyle may live very simply, their lack of pursuit of material things is only because they've never seen them before with their own eyes. However, once they do set eyes on these kinds of things, then just like everyone else, they give rise to desire and set about attaining these things.
Tini so atabdi tini to kirne tini deyong keng muzu te tongchir ke nangla tini yone tini dawa kashin degna tini korang tongchir ke nangla tini rabo re sem ko thola ndopa mambota tini sem ko thola kangar mambota tini anoshik mamboya chikbarin ro ndugz.
A person who initially lived a very simple life, if you put them in a big city, after a few months, they would become similar to city dwellers. They would have desires of all kinds, they'd have difficulty in their minds, pressures, and so forth.
Tindi yinding atsun sowa kerser nipo kanga wang shina tini sim dakpo yakpo javyata sim la tini wang yakpo rangwang yakpo thobya sim ko thola rangwang thobya te pekar simbores.
So regardless of what lifestyle we do lead, the most important thing is that we properly look after our minds and achieve freedom at the level of our minds.
Ta tini ti anshuti ngaso tini te dungmer tini tang de lenser ka tini korte tini ta joramba te zamamun rago thone sha pares.
So what we have been talking about thus far has been rather foundational level of accepting suffering as our practice.
Tani ta nipati te rambam thombo rago thone sha karen rambam thombo thone sha batela tani tondam demba yang zegre yana tani tomba ni yang zegre o tela tani dungur me pabzoya tani zres.
So moving on to a somewhat more advanced level of practice, we have what can be talked about as an ultimate level of practice, or the ultimate truth, or emptiness, and practice at this level, which is oriented to making suffering disappear.
Teni ndeng aso teni dungur tanglen shiyata yana dungur mepa teni shipi tab yakshu tab ang tangbo deres.
And this method is the best, the absolute best method for getting rid of suffering. However, for this practice, one needs a relatively advanced level of view. And for this level of practice, one would need to have realization of the meaning of either the Dzogchen practice or Mahamudra practice, or a realization of the meaning of emptiness. For someone who is unable to have a realization of emptiness, then this level of practice is not so appropriate. For a practitioner who is able to realize through practice the meaning of Dzogchen, Mahamudra, or emptiness, then any kind of suffering that arises will be able to be resolved very easily.
Teni di dungur teso tamche po nga so sem ge khalayo rez sem ge khalayo semka khanda wala yore ma to semka tangla yo mare semka tangla teso samju po yo mare.
Whether it's happiness or joy or afflictions or suffering, all of these are only surface phenomenon of the mind. They are not the deep layers or the core of our mind.
Tani perna nam khala tani tumba mangbon chu tani thok jab jig chak ta chimbo chak o tenda olongi tani shina tani teso thamju bo nga so sathok ne yar tana halipa tani jigsrong wa jena tani 장강 용야 덴지 레테 이나 데니 테소 탐주 보더니 남카가 데니 땅라 할리바금 토살라요 마레스.
It's like clouds gathering in the sky, lightning, thunderstorms. When we look at these phenomena taking place from the earth, they are very terror-inducing. They're very scary. However, these are only taking place at a surface layer of the sky. Higher up in the sky, it is not taking place.
Namkala teni olonjo teni tumba mambon teni charwa jao long jab teni jachim jigchak teni shewi kaps o satong tana hale patamo raw teni jeta yena teni ti kaps teni tanga choju namjun raw teni zikanalan dini jona chung thola sone tana teni tholam thosala chigyaw mar sama namka ngombo teni jes.
So even though looking at the sky from the ground, the wind blowing and rain pouring down and thunder and lightning would appear very frightening, if we were to take an aeroplane and to fly up above the clouds, then all we would see would be blue sky.
Tini tedang rabonga so semganala makiba mambo yung semganala kungcho yerdang ta tini mambo yung tini yung devi kaps tini ti kaps tini te ngaso yang the markepa madiva to sama same godini khanda bola yores.
In just the same way, our feelings of unhappiness, anger, aversion, and so forth, when they arise, they are only the surface of our mind.
Tini ti kaps karte ngaso sem ko tangla tini drone tini tana sem ko tangla drone tana tini ti penna namkha ga tini tumba ga thola songwa jawore ti kaps tini chama tini chigyang yo mares.
But if at this time we were able to plunge down into the depths of our mind or the base of our mind, it would just be like taking an aeroplane above the clouds. There would be nothing there.
Tini ti kaps tini ngaso sem ko tangla ro shigo res.
So we need to know how to go to the base of our mind in such moments.
Tini sem ko tangla tini nzya ga tini ta thapshi ngaso lojong shego res.
And we need to learn or study a method for being able to do this.
Tini sem ko tangla drone tini ta shisona tini ngaso ta tini sem ko nala yo pi nyomomba dungwar so sama tini ta namkha tumban rawo rendu ma to ba ta sem ko tangla ti so chigyang me pa tini khorang ka saru ha gon res.
And once we know how to look to the very depths of our mind, then we will clearly see that all of our afflictions and suffering and so forth are just like clouds in the sky.
Teni koranga te hako sawi jis teni ta chowa nala namgyeng gon chowa nala teni sem marke pada teni nyomu ba teni kewi kaps te lamsang korang teni hako ne o tan de zamba penanga so mulum gi nala teni te yong de bi teni nawa dawo teni re samba do korang zamba yimba de hako do re teni zamba yimba de hako charti teni sem nala yo pin jiktakta sem nala yo pi dumur sama lamsang meba chakres.
And in knowing this, in a practitioner's ordinary life, when affliction and suffering arise, then immediately recognizing them to be false, illusory, like a dream, the feelings of fear and suffering will immediately disappear.
Tene ko ran so sem ganala nam tindi dumur ta tindi yona tene ti kaps tene gom jab kare tene gom jab jagna tene sama me pa chang res.
So whenever we are giving rise to a feeling of suffering, we should meditate. And in meditating, it's possible for the suffering to disappear.
되니 대가서 대 등을 semtoko 등을 되니 매밥시야 탑시 약수대 되리스.
This is the best method for getting rid of mental suffering.
다연당 때 가서 람상 락렌 됩거나 대서 가보래.
But this is not, or it's very difficult for us to be able to put into practice straight away.
되니 냠린 종서 지나 내가서 미 창마라 된디 고급이 어래 창마가 때 시탑 그래서.
However, with some practice, everyone has the opportunity to be able to do this, and indeed everyone can do this.
어야 다디 안치띠 되니 당가서 등을 되니 람든 길득 대 되니 샤바레.
So what we have covered so far is bringing suffering to the path of practice. And Kambo is just going to read the relevant part of the text. So that transmission took us down to 2/3 of the way down page 16. So we have covered now taking suffering onto the path, and we are now going to start looking at bringing happiness to the path.
대당 냠도 되니 대화형 되니 더 람드 케르니 되니 대화가 양가 솔라 대체 그냥 빠르출 마용와 되니 주시에 고레스.
So as practitioners, not only do we need to bring suffering to the path so that it doesn't serve as an obstacle to us, we also need to bring happiness to the path so that it too does not serve as an obstacle.
되니 대화 소소랑라 되니 주 대체라고 되니 종수 요나 Tidi yang teni yang cho zabzab che gore ma to ba te mapshi na teni ti kap se teni ta ngargir chimbo che yong gore zi teni ta ngarang teni on chowa deshe tang damba yin samba ro ta ngarang chi teni ta njon thang che yin samba ro ngarang teni thombo yin chimbo yin samba go teni ngargir ke gore.
So if we have a bit of happiness in our lives, we need to be careful. We need to be careful because pride and arrogance can arise. We can easily think, oh, I have a happy life. I'm such a capable, able person, a great person.
Then, sosolana the ngargir ke teni mi jamba namla teni chasupche andawo teni yang chukris.
And in giving rise to pride in oneself, one can also begin to belittle or disparage others.
Then, yang lelo mambo lelo chimbore ndore ta teni ju te choa kebonda oyona teni kebo chongzi yona tinala teni ngongkorne teni tele jan teni samlo kan teni ta motongken teni ndore.
There's also a danger of getting lazy. By having a bit of happiness in life, one can become rather intoxicated with this happiness and not give much thought to anything else.
Teni tendi yendi teni da ga so sosola teni soa demo ta kepo teni yong kapsiyang teni dewa ta kepate teni cholos ma tang wa shi ni teni teyang teni nyamling teni ngo.
So when we do experience some happiness and joy in our lives, it's important that we don't waste this. It's important that we convert these things to the essence of our practice.
And
there are two approaches in this regard, two ways of thinking.
Yopa. Teni yana teni shusoko tola teni topta kosa teni yopa yana teni nyanchak o teni yopi nekab na teni sosondang jamni ta ngala tartan de so thamchipom yakbon rawon du ina tan de so sama teni martak bare teni yindi 다타 요나 되니 지마 아요 되니 하고요 말이 되니 인디 대소라 예툰 어지요 말이 대자 할리바 되니 되니 잡친당 되니 말이 삼니 되니 삼고 그래서.
So the first of these ways of thinking is if we have, say, material wealth, position and power in society, or fame, let's say, that to think that everything that I have now is impermanent. I have it now, but whether I will have it in the future, who can say? So these things of mine are not reliable.
Tiniti tongo tholaya rezi tangaso perna gandhi tini nyantak chemboyo na gandhi wancha chemboyo na tini gandhi tini mjorwa tini to pamjurkum jorwa chemboyo na doso samchi na tini perna susu nimachigla tini nat tini to da chembondawo tini na tini dawo resona te wancha ge pantok mandu pamjurke pantok mandu jamba kange te pantok me pandawo tini ti korkup te mambola yungo yorzi tini ti.
And this way of thinking is true, in fact. It doesn't matter whether we are speaking about wealth or position or power or fame or what the case may be. It's possible that one day we might be struck by a serious illness, in which case none of these things will be of any benefit to us. Many people come across moments like this.
Then Tindishini Tinato Simdi, Ticapset Tinato Simdi Yaram Tumborene, then Korang Tini Yardi Nargir Chimbo Tindirion Capsa, the Ningoni Matits on Nungogres. Semnang Nargaki on the Mara Nungogres.
So when we find our minds giving rise to pride, we need to press it down.
Teni tindi machina teni semnang teni maranun teni machina teni yang solo sosola dechita teni chonzo yong kapsi yang argerki yang tito ko teni semgnala yang teni de nyumomba ki teni merge asa teni reyongres.
Otherwise, if we don't do this, then when bits of happiness come along, we simply give rise to afflictions in our minds and accumulate unvirtuous actions and so forth.
Teni ti kapsa teni soso rang la teni demo tang kepo teni yong kapsa o teni ta ngarang teni demo ta kepo teni yonggendu ze teni ngarang teni yong kepo yonggendu yinang teni ta di zambolang thola teni yang mo teni ta kepo maimba kepo menken teni dungar mambo yongken teni kyobo o teni mambo teni yore samni te sam gores.
And in these moments, we need to think that even though we at this moment may be happy and joyful, in the world there are a great many people who are currently unhappy, suffering and poor. We need to think about this.
Teni yendi teni ta ngarang ka teni dewan da sama teni par simchen sama la jinni teni ngi dewan da simchen la jinni teni simchen tamche teni dewa ta keba teni zi teni yongya ta yangna teni ngi dewan da rabo simchen sama la yang teni dewa yo ta nga su sama teni demo ta kebo yongna teni yakbon de samni teni ti yongya ga che teni molum gyap go rezi ta ngarang nyishchik po teni demo kebo yongna pantok chik mandu So
we should then make cast an aspiration or make a prayer that our current happiness be given, that we give our current happiness to all beings, so that share it among them, so that they can all become happy and or share in the same kind of happiness as we currently experience. And we should make a prayer of this nature in the appreciation or understanding that simply ourselves being happy or joyful is not of much use.
Teni ti kaps taronga su jipchan da chongsu shina teni ta dirdik tonglin o teni gum jachimbo gum gi ore teni te gum go re tonglin.
And if a more detailed practice in this regard would be the Donglen practice of exchanging happiness for suffering.
Teni namjin rapoina pena nga sola teni soa libo thola sem ko thola teni demo da kepo teni yongna teni tonglin re teso gum matavna teni nga so teni dewa da kepa da nga so sem ko nyamsum yong sarvi jis teni jigzong do re teni men do re ze.
Usually, happiness or suffering, which we experience at the level of our bodies and our minds, if we don't know how to practice donglen, exchanging the donglen, the practice of exchanging, then or taking and giving, I should say, then the experience disappears or evaporates very rapidly.
Teni karti tong teni she thasona nga so pena so lisem ko thola demo che boyo kapsa nga so te tonglen to so yabo she thamna teni tela tene ya nga so sonum jashim bo teni sok thap kare.
But rather than just having the feeling disappear very quickly after it arises, if we know how to practice donglen, then we can use this as an opportunity to accumulate great merit.
Teni tindi yendi kanstar nga so teni ta sem de teni ta gong du chapa jinda nga so sem ka la dungmur yong kaps teni nga so sorang la sem so shini ta dungmur ze ate teni chapchimbo mare jini yarte chak gong du sem de yarte chak go res.
So, as we said before, when suffering arises in our mind, we need to do some level of comforting to ourselves. We need to tell ourselves that it's not so big a deal.
Teni sem ka la ya nga so nga so la teni deskit o teni da o yong kaps teni sem thumbo re ne ta ngarjir ki ne teni yong kaps. But
when we experience happiness and give rise to pride or arrogance, then we need to press these down. So when we experience suffering, we sort of try to elevate the mind, or what's that expression, to crank it up a little bit. Whereas when we experience happiness, then we need to press it down. So with this cranking up and pressing down, we're seeking to keep our mind in a relatively even and stable state.
Teni nga so namjini na nga so teni nyamnin me pa teni zina ta nga so la demo ta kebon ra o teni chongzo yona nga so hajang ka sem thombo re teni dungur chongzo yona ne kap teni sem hajang ka mammo re ne teni yarn tho mar ma teni shini te nga so namjin chowa ga na la te sem thok la kable mambo chok yore.
So for ordinary people who are not practitioners, when happiness and joy takes place, their minds soar very high. When suffering takes place, their minds plunge into a very low place, and so they oscillate back and forth between high, low, and their lives are lived like this. It gives them much difficulty.
Tini yar chaya da mara naya tini tari nga so samlo tansarni yorezi ki tini rezi.
So, lifting up and pressing down, we have two different ways of thinking. And besides these two, there's another way of thinking too.
That is the yoyate, then arang ranga tini hun, tini sonum, or tini sabi tini the Jimson Gire, Tim Drevere, then the Yendi, then it tarong arang montani, sonum sago, and the sami tini some gores.
So this other way of thinking or other approach is, in order to enjoy a happy life, that is a life with happy and well mind, a healthy body, good material conditions and so forth, we appreciate that if we currently enjoy these things, that it is as a result of the positive karma that we accumulated in previous lives. And on this basis, if we wish to continue to enjoy these things, we need to continue to accumulate positive karma.
Teni ta ngaso sanji chumdende ganji songyo rezina teni ngaso mo shirtangwa mo zina teni dumur mambo yone teni chudrub gona ya teni shirtang ta dumur ke teni nyamlin da yona teni chudruba ga teni tunkin da teni renjo reta shirtang ga ngaso mo shirtang wa zina te dumur mambo yo charti teni soso rang dumur tela ndang jamne perna chowa ga tola kangar mambo yona teni chowa kangarte thakchaya la samlo mambo tang de ma to ba teni chudub ki tola samlo mambo tang thap ka mareze.
The Buddha Shakyamuni said that for ordinary people or an ordinary person in terms of their practice, when suffering takes place, so let's say suffering in their life, then their thoughts will be oriented towards how to go about addressing this suffering, and they won't be able to think about other things.
Teni indi teni ta demo ta kepo zgnani teni chudub ke ko ko biona teni ngacho mangchi shu teni chuyak bodub thap korezi tambo ngacho chowa ta tso tola kangar me pa teni chakpi jini teni tazo ngacho teni chudub ke la teni samlo tangarezi mangchi wadi.
For the majority of people, they practice comes well when they are in an environment that is happy and peaceful. That is, once they have addressed whatever difficulties are at hand, only then are they really able to settle down and focus on their practice.
Tatendi yendi teni ta ngarang teni dendi chowa deshchitang damba tendi zga thone teni chudbya teni kork karwa teni yo pate pe sonum chimbore teni ta ngara chuyak bodub go samni teni sam go ndus.
So to have the opportunity to practice in the conditions of a happy life is the result, or is a great fortune, and so one should recognize this and undertake to continue to accumulate merit and do positive action.
Tate ngaso teni te kepa lamde chewi kapse teni zo to ton sam di tola samlo tango rezi to som de rezi.
So these 3 points are the main ones that we need to bear in mind in bringing happiness to the path.
Tesar mdur dana tari ngaso kongla shapa tere o ta nga tarta pe na longshut teni jorwa chimbondu teni nyantak chimbondu teni wangcha chimbondu ndu tata ndaso tamchi po teni je hali ji ji yo mare tarta yo na jima ayo ha ko mare talo yo na sangphot ayo ha ko mare ta ndaso martak bare samni teni samlo ta ya sim tez mara mamu ro shia teni tambore.
To sum these 3 points up again, the first of them is whether our various material possessions, our enjoyments, fame, power, etc. We may be in possession of these things at this moment, but it's no big deal. We might have them now, later, who knows whether we will. We might have them in this very moment, but whether or not they will still be with us next year is uncertain. They are subject to impermanence. And so in thinking in this way, we sort of lower or press down our mind a bit. And the second approach or second way of thinking is that of giving and taking, donglen.
Teni sambada tari nga so kong do shama thak pare ta ngarang dendi chowa demo ta kepo z ka ngani teni ngarang la teni chudbya yo pati ngarang pe karwa zambore teni tari ngarang chowa teni dewa ta kepa teni yong ya te ngon ngarang ka sonum sak pi teni mrevre ta ngarang monthn ni sonum sak go sam ni teni chudbya ya karung o teni yong ya teni zu she go re ta so sum da re ta so sum da teni nga so kepa.
And the third is, as just mentioned, the recognizing that if one has very good conditions, a happy life in which to practice, this is the fruit of previous positive karma. And in order to continue to enjoy these things, it is necessary to continue to accumulate merit. And so then this forms a motivation of our practice. So these 3 points are the main ones that we need to keep in mind in bringing happiness to the path.
Teni tendisi shetamna teni ngazo dungur yongi kapseyang teni soso mache tondang damba shetab gore. Teni deva yongi kapseyang soso mache tondang damba shetab gore.
So if we are able to apply these points, then if we encounter suffering, our life can be made meaningful. And if we, in moments of happiness too, our lives can be meaningful.
Teni te maina ngaso kondu shapanda gore teni ta deva de dungur yongi ne kabna teni ta ngarang dungur chimpore samne semgana la nyokta mambo yong. Teni chu deva tezi yona teni ta lamsang teni semgana la ngarger ki teni ngarger ki na teni chaktok ki gore teni chaktok ki sarti yang lamsang dungur rendo gore teni dungur kon khorlo korya matok ba yo mare tse.
Besides these approaches, if we think when we encounter suffering, oh no, I'm really suffering greatly, this brings a lot of trouble to our minds. At the same time, when we encounter happiness, we give rise to pride. Pride gives rise then to jealousy. Jealousy then gives rise to suffering. So in such a way, we're not able to escape this cycle of suffering. So Khenpo is now going to read the section of the text for the next section. So with the practice of bringing happiness to the path, as with bringing suffering to the path, in the beginning, if we're able to meditate under conditions of retreat, this would be very good for our meditation practice. So what we have been talking about so far is a relatively foundational level of practice for bringing happiness to the path. There is also a more advanced level of bringing happiness to the path through the realization of emptiness. And the practice in this case is exactly the same as in the bringing of suffering to the path. Everyone, whether it's happiness or suffering, regards these as extremely real and concrete in nature.
Teni yenna teni ta tung ngubu thola teni ta ndaso teni demba ta teni ta tung ngubu thola yopa ta teni rezina teni te yeng yo mares.
In reality, however, are these happinesses and sufferings really so concrete and substantive? In actual fact, they're not.
Teni mulum gata nala yopa ta rao teni yeng yo res.
In fact, they're just the same as the appearances in a dream.
In
Buddhism, we say that life is just like a dream.
Teni tong shi ne teni chisu ni rabo teni zikana la tong shi yujana teni tela gare zegre zina tela mulum zegre ma to tela matse zeg ma rez.
If we were to take the life experiences of a person who lived for 100 years and to condense them into 2 hours, then we would call this a dream. We wouldn't call it a human life.
Tini nga tso yang per na tini mushika tini gongmo mar nyal ni tini ti mulum tini mina tini khorang ga mulum tab tini par rangbo shi ni jerang tab tang ni per na ti mulum de rangbo shi ni tini lo ja rang rao tini zila par tini rangbo shi jang na tini khorang ga mulum te tini matse rendo rezi tini kapsa tini tela matse zegre ma to ba tini tela mulum zeg ma rezi.
But in the same way, if we were to take the dream of a person at night and extend it for a period of 100 years, then that would then become a human life and not a dream.
Tani ta teni ki chapartuk karindu zina ta tisut teza rango ta thong rawo ma to ba jamba tini chaparndreze labgona pe kabores.
So in terms of the difference of these two things, aside from a difference in their duration, it's very difficult to speak about there being any other point of difference.
Tini titsud rango ta thong zeya teyang tini nga so tini sem go jakayore ma to ba tini tong bu to na titsud rang ta thong zeya teyang jemo sinishana tini manduz.
And indeed, these concepts of shortness of time or length of time are just perceptions or constructions of the mind. If we look at them in detail, then they don't exist either.
Tini tinji ton de tini te toksona mulum tin soan so samji tini mulum rawo yemba te tini toksona tini tela tini nga su nyomo ba mambo tini kalimar mendores.
If we are able to gain realization or deep insight into this, that life is but a dream or like a dream, then this realization is able to make many afflictions disappear.
Tini mulum maybe nerkab nazi tini ngaso tini ta mulum yemba tini hako yamares.
When we are dreaming, we don't realize that we're dreaming.
Tini te mashipi jimsenji tini ngaso tini mulum ka kapsa tini ngaso sama demba yin samni te sam kanduwazi.
And the reason for this is because when we are sleeping, when we're dreaming, we regard the dream to be true, to be real.
Tini mulum ka kapsa tini ta mulum mine tini ta khoranga tini ta yana tini halipan soa deshkit tang damba tini resong tini mulum mi yana na tini dungar tang damba mulum mana Gangstar ti kapsa tini ngaso nyember kan soan rawo tini deshke kan soala halipa gawo tang trobo tini dungar ka tini soala tini margawa tini ta ngaso tini soa nala yo pa chikchang rawo yongo yorezi ti mulum ka kapsa.
When we dream and experience pleasurable things, then we like it. When we experience suffering in our dreams, we don't like it. And this is just the same as in our everyday lives, our liking of pleasant things and dislike of suffering.
Tini mulum ka nangla tini ta ngaso pena nyember ka tini choa ka nang chikpa chikchang rawo tini dungar tang dewa tang taso tini yongya ka jimsen te tini mulum ka nangla yopi ngupo taso tamchipo demba yimbi jimsen ji mareze te tab demba yimbi jimsen ji mareze.
The reason that dreams are just like our everyday waking life in terms of the way that happiness and suffering arise is not because of the realness of the objects in our dreams.
Ona kare rezena ngarang so tip demba yin samne sem kanala samsung wi jimsen ji res.
But rather due to our belief that the objects in our dreams are real.
Tini ngaso tip demba yin samsung wi jimsen ji tini malum ka nala ngaso lan jikchak tang dungar tang yana dewa taso tini ta chikpa chikchang rawo ngaso chowa ka nang rawo chikpa rawo yung jimsen te teres.
And it's on the basis of this belief in their realness that we experience fear, suffering, happiness in our dreams in just the same way as we do in our everyday waking life.
Tini mulum ka nala pe na tini ngaso tini ta mulum dikboz tini mini o ta pe na ngarang moschik tini ta ngarang tini 수 용화 양나 짠전 딘디 거더니 땅다승다 딘디 가랑 자제 딘디 시네 딘디 다 등물 망보뇨니 직적 망보 딘디 데 멀음 거나라 딘디 데 뇽거레서 가서 상마가
In bad dreams or nightmares, if we dream that someone is killing us or we're being attacked by a wild animal, then this brings a great feeling of suffering and fear for everyone.
Tini ti kapsa mulum ganala yo pitini jikchak the mar mepashe gona tapshi yakshude garis.
At this point, what is the best way for getting rid of the fear in the dream? This is a question.
Yes. Understand that you're dreaming.
Yeah, dini tata dini milam mi pati shina. Odi. Yang na dini ni lisena, milam ni sena yang. Tapshe chiri.
Yeah. Deve kakayus.
Any different answers?
Generate bodhicitta.
Yeah, dini di shanshu kusum ye.
Oh, yeah. Are. Yeah.
Yang di ni lisewa.
Ah.
Jadi milam mi bikabs dini wrong dini milam mijin hako kores.
Yeah. Tapi yak bondusi. Dini ta dini ti resi ta ngaso dini ngone ta ni malam kanala yo bikabs dungar daba na sokma mambo yongna. Te dini tap시 찍어 dini tsama mepa zoya dini zit gona gang rezina. Dini karang ka malam me malam re samba te hako kores.
Very good. Yes, that is the way it is. If we are dreaming and experiencing a great deal of suffering, then the only one way that is able to get rid of it all is to realize that one is dreaming. Or to wake up from the dream. To wake up. And you provided both of these answers.
Deni dungmer teni yang drama mambo teni ziona yore te ngaso te tamche dungmer te so tamche po teni yang ngaso tamshi chik teni yang meba zoya teni z yo sarwezi chi sangsabna.
So if the two ways for us to get rid of suffering in our dreams, in while dreaming, are to either wake up or to realize that we are dreaming, how about in our everyday waking lives? We experience a great deal of suffering. Is there any one way or one method that we can use to get rid of this suffering? What does everyone think?
Yeah.
Any other answers?
Yeah. 약 보래 성시 다 가서 동반이 또 고래 코란링 임종께 고래 돼서 상마레스.
So, yes, they're both right. We need to realize emptiness. We also need to give rise to renunciation. It is possible that perhaps this very life of ours right now is a dream.
lo teni shewa mambo yo zega yore teni sa kola do teni lo tongshir jibchi yenga teni re tsara re ze teni zega yore.
Human history, they say, extends back for millions of years. The history of the Earth, the planet Earth, they say, has a history of, maybe someone else might know this figure better, 45 billion? No, longer. 4.6 billion years.
Tani chikshina taso changma tani malum yena ha ko mare.
It's hard to say whether all of this was just a dream.
Tega so changma se mare te malum kala yin tindi zegres.
But everyone would say, no, how can that be? How could it be a dream?
Tani ha malum mai bi gemsang kari sha chindu zeni tini triona tani lan kari jab gusares.
But if we were to ask such people what their reasons are for saying that it's not a dream, then what would they answer?
What dream? What dream?
That?
What dream?
The dream, the milam
Malum
kangres.
tena chadres. Yeah.
Oh, tingatso teni tata teni sibain teni samgiyo inayong jikshena milam teni mijiyosis.
Yes, tani na ha ko mare se.
Yes, so we don't know whether or not we are awake or just thinking we are awake.
Karang ha ko mandus ngarang yang kan ha ko mandus.
So we just don't know what the situation is. Even I don't know.
Yeah. Kanstar teni ngaso malum gnani teni satap shego yores.
In any case, we need a way from waking from the dream.
Teni ngaso tata ga teni ngasun chowa matsin de teni malum yin nanja teni malum ngoma mayin nanja kanstar di nani ngaso sadna saji yores.
Regardless of whether this life of ours is a dream or is not a dream, we need to wake up.
Teni karti nyimasila ngaso di nani sasona matsin di nani teni matseg nani teni perna malum sabandra wo teni shini teni sasona teni dumar sama teni tag lamsang me pachakandoz.
If one day we were able to wake up, just like waking from a dream, then all of our suffering would disappear.
Teni tinji teni te saji yo arezena saji nduz.
You might ask whether there is such a way of waking up, and indeed there is.
Teni mambo ngaso lorji gtola teni satsong arez.
Over the course of history, there are many people who have waken up.
Teni shiti teni kanstar ngaso tarta matsin de teni malum yinandra malum mayinandra kanstar tinani sadna malum sapandra wo shini saji nduz.
Irrespective of whether this life of ours is a dream or is not a dream, the waking up is like Te
ngaso teni soanda teni malum yinandra teni malum ngomandra wo mayinandra kanstar di nani ngaso malum sapandra wo shini sad yongji yores.
So whether this life is a dream or is not a dream, there is a way of waking up from it, like waking up from a dream.
Teni goni teni sasona teni ta ngaso soso teni sem ka tangla teni nipa halepa teni chembo mambo sem ka tangla ndu toso changma yer sad yongres.
And when we do wake up, then many latent powers that exist in the depths of the mind are also awakened.
Teni tindi shesona teni ti kapsa teni ta pena mote korang teni sasona teni ta korang la teni te dumur kanga me pachangro ores.
At any rate, if a person does become awakened in this way, then their sufferings are completely eliminated.
Teni ti kapsa teni moschik teni nyet sasona teni korang ka leka kari legrezenas.
So you might ask then, well, what should a person do who wakes up in this way? What is the work that lies ahead for them?
Teni per na ngaso sama teni khamban din la sama nyet sona anyet ne teni sama teni te malum jikchak dang damba teni malum teni ngaso sama nyam de teni mi kapse Tini tinani mochu tini yar tini sasongnas.
So let's just say that everyone inside this room were to fall asleep and to have a terrible, scary nightmare, and then one of us were to wake up.
Tini mo korang ka samlo tana tini korang tini ta korang la tini mulum gun jiktak sama mepa chaso dungur yo mare jiktak yo mare. Yenna tini mo ti ta mo jamba taso tamchi tarung mulum mini mulum gun la jiktak mambo tini nyang gun samba de korang ka hago re.
So for this one person among us who wakes up, for them there is no more suffering and fear, but they still see everyone else around them in a state of great fear in the midst of their dreams.
Tini ti kapsa tini mati shawale ka karele sare sam gun duzi so tana.
What does everyone think this person should then do?
Oh, te yak boris.
Yes, very good.
Oh yeah. Tini jamba so nyil le sako chamalan thinni ta malum matang ti chama malum rendu tending mare zegreziti.
Just the shena yapu mare.
Mare ti kombalan thinni mo jang kombalan thinni chama ga malum te ta malum matang tending je mandu tending jistak che go mandu zegrez.
So they've got to pull on the clothes of everyone to wake them up and tell them, don't dream, wake up.
Tini rezi tini ngacho ta tini ngacho pena sangje shachata pa sangje ata tini sangje ngacho la chusong ata teso tini na bores.
So this is just like how when the Buddha achieved Buddhahood and then went about sharing the Dharma, teaching the Dharma.
Tini ta ngacho sangmalal tini lamka damnga ni ores damnga ni.
All of us, in terms of the path that lies ahead, have two choices. Either we wake up from the dream, or we continue dreaming. If we continue dreaming, then everyone would prefer that we continue dreaming a happy dream. So even though we know dreams are not real, before sleeping, if someone were to ask us, what kind of dream would you prefer to have, a nice, pleasant dream or a scary, horrible dream, of course we would all answer that we'd prefer to have a nice dream. So either we need to wake up for the dream or we need to continue dreaming a nice dream. These are the two choices we have. These are the choices that everyone faces. Whichever you choose is okay. In any case, it's preferable that we don't have a dream that is scary and horrible. This is the way it is. Slowly, everyone should assess the situation for themselves and establish which path they are going to take. And Kambo is now going to read the relevant text for this section. So that is the complete transmission for the text of transforming suffering and happiness.
Teni kirdig lamkir ko teni te ta thapshizina te nyamlin nangchu ko nani nyamlin te zramba mamunda o teni zres.
So what we have been focusing on in our teaching over the last couple of days has been a relatively foundational level of Buddhist practice.
Teni ramba te mamoyina nga so chwala halipam reva chimbores.
Even though it is a relatively foundational level of practice, its relevance to our lives is extremely great.
Teni nga so nangchu nangba go chuba yinandra, teni nangba go chuba maimba yinandra, gantar nga so chwa nala chamala dungunda manda mambo yongyo ore.
Regardless of whether we are Buddhist practitioners or not, we come across a lot of suffering in our lives.
Teni tapshindala teni nga so dungmar so mepashina, teni tabdebo goni teni dungmar so mepashi tapkare.
And so it's possible through practicing these methods for us to conveniently get rid of this suffering.
Teni di zerjakshini ti thola teni tanga so ti gom gyamni tangenzen gomna, teni nyam tang tokba yakbo jella teni yarki yongare.
And in yanja sone chokambala nga so ti nangding ko thola gomze gyapna raba.
Ndo zerjak thoni. Ndo zerjak thoni teni gom gyamna teni jella tangenzen yakbo ki yongare.
And if we are able to meditate on this foundation, then we will achieve meditative stability.
Ya tiri nga so kharsang terang nimani dinala teni samwa teni pe yakbo nyensong teni trwa yakbo mambo kosong samala thji chejegins.
In the last couple of days, everyone has listened very carefully and has also asked really good questions. So thank you very much.
Teni ta nga so ngwa molom yakbo chejegins.
So we'll end now with a dedication of merit.
Tam jo zo ma